that average over 30 minutes a game. So it's a different situation. You know, Saunders will come in, and play some minutes. Falcone comes in and plays some minutes, but mostly it's the starters.
Freeman on a bounce. Mismatch again. Enrique Freeman spins and scores. He gets what he... Rollins in the corner trying to make something happen. Answers with a nice shot.
Just watching that possession, it looked like...
Rollins launches a three. Nails it. Big shot for Toledo.
Or get the ball out of bounds.
3 of 10 shooting for the first team All-MAC performer. Ryan Rollins, a sophomore, glides and scores.
You had to know that was coming. Get into the paint. And you know what? This chip away, knocking down open shots. Put Akron on his back yesterday against Buffalo.
Rollins from the elbow hits and responds. Silky smooth. First team All-MAC performer. Points. Wow. What a tournament. 33 points, 2 games. Castaneda. Rollins feeling it. He's hit his last 5. Ryan Rollins catching fire. He almost walked and lost it to Moss. And here's Rollins with Miller Jr. Ryan Rollins floats. Miller Jr. gathers, lays it in and one for Toledo.
They didn't move it. As you get closer towards the end of the game, they're going to have to keep the ball moving like they did in the first half.
Rollins tries a three, can't answer it. Short. Castaneda up high for the rebound. On 4 threes. How about the range? Deep corner 3 ball. Fired pass down low for Rollins, who gathers and has 2 more. He is turning it on after a slow start here tonight. And the rebound for Rollins.
Toledo's got to get something moving to the hoop. They got to be aggressive and get inside and get. That's too quick, and it's a shot that's going to be there after you move the ball around. That's
not close.
Great defense by Moss, a force by Castaneda. You didn't need to do that. You have the lead.
Rollins taking the end. It's blocked from behind. Some heavy contact, but no foul. Badly misses the first. Miller Jr. has the rebound. Life for the Rockets. Rollins. Transition 3, way short.
Squad that did. Brian Taylor just threw the basketball away. Turnover again, Central Michigan. Coming to that jump stop, Ryan Rollins, the outstanding.
At the other end.
The freshman Milner off the mark. Rollins in a hurry. Rollins will lean in. Yep, count that. Leaned in.
Poking pressure, falling back to zone or man. They're mixing some 2-3. They're mixing some man, but I like the 3/4 court token pressure to slow this offense.
UIC with that big knockdown for Central Michigan. Biggest lead of the afternoon. Rollins will step back and stick it. I don't know, you pure
buy-in to what he's saying, and obviously the more they begin to win, the more as you win more games, there'll be more and more buy-in.
Catch and trigger 3 from Ryan Rollins. Tony Barbie really likes what he has, and that's 6'7" junior. Tied at 39. Rollins to the cup and flushing that home on the offensive glass.
Called fairly tightly because a lot of conversation, let's just say that, going back and forth with both teams right now.
Rollins off the pull-up, booking by this young man.
Difficult thing to overcome if you're Central Michigan.
Yeah, so defensive, a stop really heavily needed here. Rollins will step back. That 3, a little bit too firm. Shoemate kept. As strong as he was as a basketball coach, even better man than a human being. Gene Barteau. Rollins to raise up. Came up short. Big offensive ball. 1. Shot clock at 15. Rollins to raise up. No. 37 seconds left.
Under 5 in the shot clock. A little bit of a mishandle there, but a nice bounce pass. They get it to Rollins. Goes for the shot, comes up empty. Moss fights for it.
7 threes. We talked about it. They got to push him away and push him off that 3-point line.
Toledo's made 4 straight from the field. That streak ends right there with that miss from downtown. Trying for the offensive rebound.
The next factor. He's a difference maker because he's a leader on the court. He can do so many different things, and he's pretty strong for 6'2".
Nice hesitation dribble and a drive by Ryan Rollins, and he takes it to the up 80 points per game. You know, something's got to give. That's definitely more of an effort thing than a talent thing, because if you score that much, you should be able to play a little bit of defense. As you get a shot in the corner, buried there, Ryan Rollins, as he gets to get in there, you got to have the 1-2 to play good defense, and they're doing it as of late. Drive here, dish shot. There's Milner again. Pardon me, Rollins with the make. Now just 6 points away.
Well together and shares that basketball.
Here's Dennis in transition with a drop pass to Rollins, and he buries it already. Another assist there for Toledo.
12.
Rate is off. Playing for the final shot. 5 seconds to go. Dennis, shoemate, swinging around. 3-point attempt for the wing. Off the mark from Ryan Rollins. And that'll do it for
Mike O'Brien, who, if you've ever done games in here before, you know Mike O'Brien. He's awesome. He's a big proponent, watches every game.
Oh, beautiful move to the bucket. Ryan Rollins lays it in. Another miss inside. Rollins, by the way, now has 11. Needs just 2 points to reach 1,000. There's a drive. Going for it. Count the basket and the foul. As
have played here this evening. Can't catch a break. They're still in that 2-3 zone.
Now over to the corner. Rollins again. Misses the 3 that time. Here comes the 3. That misses. And Milner grabs the rebound.
Well, Moss had him pushed so far out. That's the only shot he could take was that long 3. And another assist.
Dennis with a beautiful dish down low.
Because right now, this is unacceptable for Michael Huger. I guarantee it.
3-point attempt from Rollins. Comes up empty. And the rebound to Plowden.
Balanced, scoring, rebounding. These 5 guys are all outstanding. It's hard to say, well, there's one guy you have to stop and shut down. That was good defense that time on Rollins, and the Bulls will jack off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Moss. Nice bounce pass to the cutter, Ryan Rollins.
Great pass by Moss, and that's just
guarded this time by Maceo Jack. That's a good matchup to watch as well.
Jack's a phenomenal defender.
It's not going to bother Ryan Rollins, who shoots the 3 up and in over Imbala. Cost of it. Rockets have hit their last 8 baskets, and that one's a miss. Trayvon Fagan in off the bench for the Bulls with the rebound.
Segou, Williams, and Jack all on the bench at the moment.
Curtis Jones, number 3 in the ball game. That's a quick blow by, but a block shot from behind. And now a chance
when you've got 5 of the best players in the conference.
And
that is Toledo's spot.
Imbala gets double teamed and coughs it up. And look at Rollins with the speed right to the rim, no good. Hardnett with the rebound. Sit down low and turns it over. The Bulls have been very careless in this game so far. Quick ball movement. Rollins, corner 3, got it.
Another timeout taken by
Buffalo. To an 11-point Toledo lead. Rollins just so quick and so silky smooth this year, and it's usually defensive related, and the Bulls have started to pick up a little bit better defensively. The only problem is it doesn't really matter when that guy is feeling it, and Ryan Rollins
after the game on senior night rather here, and he's going to get some much deserved love for an incredible career here in Buffalo.
Rollins got to the rim, couldn't finish.
Here goes the point guard.
Yep. But it remains a double-digit Rockets lead. Rollins has yet to score in the second half. Should have known better than to say that.
It's just every time Buffalo goes
it up, gets it, taken away.
I don't hate the go back up with it, but Williams is begging for the ball wide open on the perimeter.
And Rollins denied on the other end. And now they'll switch off. Now Nathan Williams on Rollins. Won't stop Ryan from going to the hole. It will stop the ball from going in on the block by the Bulls. Control.
Hey, Cover Girls. It's time for a fresh start with new Clean Fresh Skincare Weightless Water Cream, supercharged with True Clean Cactus.
Rollins, no good on that jumper. Whistle away from the ball. Going to go on Buffalo. The Bulls have Largest deficit overcome by the Bulls this year was 16. What looks like the first place team in the MAC
Correct.
to push them over the edge.
That may be what it comes down to, because the numbers are just so similar. As you said, even tonight, they both have, Rollins has 17, Williams has 16. They're both 7 and 15. They're very tough to beat.
Pull up three for Rollins, no good. Offensive rebound, tracked down by Milner to build a 19-point lead at one point. Rollins just kind of swats away Maceo Jack, can't hit the baseline jumper.
As well as good health. Ryan Rollins is the team's leading scorer. Milner comes off a huge game, and Shoemate we spotlighted in the open. To the basket, laying it up and in for Toledo to start the scoring.
Because of the talent that these guys have, they are able to make those shots. And right there you can see, pretty easy coming off his hand, looked pretty good.
Rollins, the three. Rebound hits the floor. It's really been a struggle for Miami. Have not won the MAC championship since 2007. That's a nice mid-range jumper by Ryan Rollins, the team's leading scorer at 19 points a game.
And we mentioned it earlier, not a great rebounding team on the season, but so far here today, they are winning the backcourt.
And Toledo is a good rebounding team, second in the league in turnover rebounding margin, +5 a game.
And taking advantage of it.
Day-Day Grant's already into double figures. He's been in double figures every game but 3 this season. He's got 10. Rollins pull up. Delonte Brown. Score both on the bench with 2 fouls. Dennis. Offensive rebound. Rollins, he puts it in.
Not much more frustrating for a coach.
Rollins calling for the ball. He's got it. Drives baseline. Flips it up and in.
Wow, what a tough finish there from Ryan. Better shot blockers in the MAC. So Toledo, certainly a good defensive team in and around the rim, despite their lack of size.
Rollins pulling his way to the rim. He's got 12 points.
And that's what's
at home over 9 minutes. Central Michigan ended up blowing them out in Oxford. So this is a familiar tale for both of these teams as Rollins splashes it home.
Basketball is certainly a game of runs. This is looks so effortless doing it. He's a terrific offensive player.
And he comes away with the steal. Said he models his game after Devin Booker. He'll take a long 2 and score. 16 for Rollins. Now it's biggest deficit of the game. Day-Day Grant, crazy shot. Milner comes up with a loose ball. Larry is jinx-proof. In fact, Toledo's head coach told us that he's the real X factor for Miami. He called him arguably their best player. When they win big games, he plays well. Ryan Rollins, 3 jumpers here with under 13 minutes to go. Rollins one-on-one. Tough shot. 20 points for Ryan Rollins. Okay, calling into Coach Boeheim's radio show.
Gotta love that. A lot of Hall of Fame worthy coaches obviously on that list. And the Dome, a very, very different.
9 in a row. Buffalo's won 8 in a row, so that won't be an easy game for Toledo coming up on Tuesday in Western New York.
In a very difficult environment as well to try to get a win.
1 rebounds this season. 3 of them at 170. Shoemate has 171. And that's through 28 games as Rollins will dunk it. 24 for Rollins. 3 3-pointers.
Young man that can really shoot the basketball, and you can see why. Every time it comes off his hand, you're almost surprised when it misses. And a great skip pass there. Wide open Ryan Rollins just comes up a little bit short.
Lamar's the best scorer in the conference. He's top 20 in the conference in scoring per game. Speaking of scoring, there's a bucket for Ryan Rollins. 19 per game. He's a 20-25 points and put teams away. That's what they've been doing all year. Ryan Rollins, good. That's a 2-pointer.
Boy, if you're a Bronco defender, you do.
Back to basketball we go. Rollins spinning, missing the shot. Numbers for the Broncos.
Lamar. Loose rebounds, take the ball to the basket, get the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Rollins, no. Shoemate, kicking after grabbing the rebounds. Down low to Rollins. Mismatch on B. Artis White. Rebound, volleyball spiked to Milner. Second shot, most of the night.
I think one of the keys, if they get in a half-court defense and they get a chance to steer the ball and funnel it where they want, they're successful. In that case right there, they didn't steer the ball anyway.
Rollins stepping back, air ball. Toledo tried to go 2 for 1 and it backfired. Toledo. Ryan Rollins on the attack, counted and 1.
If you're Malik, you have that rebound, you can't bring it down. That's where guards are at. They take the ball, got a
largest lead of the game. Ryan Rollins blocked. How about that D from Norman?
That was great D. You saw that jab step by Rollins.
Lamar obviously known for his scoring, but that was a defensive highlight. Rollins, a highlight on the other end.
Josiah got caught looking the other way. He was the help defending. They're settling for whatever Toledo's going to give them versus taking what they want.
Wide open look. Ryan Rollins is a ball player. Good. Why they're 13-3 in the conference. The balanced attack, it's proven itself again tonight. They just come at you from all angles. Give Ryan Rollins 20 now.
Well, what they...
Moss misses on back-to-back trips. Rollins. Rebound. Moss. Third shot for Toledo. Dennis will try.
Deep in the lane. It's just a hard time finishing over that size right now.
Here's Rollins letting it fly. That's off the mark. Webb comes up with a rebound.
He was in a red shirt here for the season, kind of work on his strength and whatnot. But with the injury to AJ Adu a season ago, Ryan Rollins dialing it up off of the reversal. But he was in transition that usually gets him into a rhythm, and this I give Central Michigan credit. I mean, they've made life difficult for him on the offensive end for the most part. There's Ryan Rollins that drive there again. That's the size it alters.
And that's 3 before halftime. Nicholas Pavret with his first points of the night. He's so far made a major impact on the defensive end. Ryan Rollins can't get the runner to go. His collegiate career confidence, I don't think, was an issue in the first half. He had 11 points. Rollins, that's off. Nice save by Taylor along the baseline. Ryan Rollins still just 3 points, averages 19.5 per ball game. Rises up, can't score over Healy. Rollins over the outstretched arm of the 6'11" Harrison Henderson.
Level basketball meeting each other at the summit.
Here comes Rollins driving from the wing. Great defense to recover by Brian Taylor. Schmidt hasn't had to do a lot of driving or scoring inside tonight. The three-point shot has been reliably there for him. Rollins with a miss. Third leading scorer, held to just 5 points thus far. Here comes Rollins to the bucket, throws up a wild shot, and Central Michigan will have a chance to tie it here at the end.
They're going to have to do it on the fly right now.
For Toledo, the D2 transfer. 6-0 timer, here's Rollins. Long-range shot, misfires, rebound, go to CPAC.
You know, if you go up with soft stuff there, we saw on the other end, you put something up against the backboard, a guy like Milner is going to get to it.
Rollins, short. Wow, 10 straight misses. The end result of that conversation with the players.
The crowd is starting to get some momentum. Toledo's got a couple buckets in a row.
Rollins. His first field goal of the game.
All three guys have been sensational. I'll say this, whoever gets in from the MAC tournament, they are going to be a difficult out, as where they were last year when Ohio knocked off UVA.
1 for 6 in the first half for Seth Miller Jr. He's usually a great offensive threat for the Rockets. Rollins trying to change his tune, can't. Rebound, run out, carry. Rollins get going for the free throw line. Rattles out. And the struggles continue tonight. He's 1 for 6 out to nobody. And he turns it over. Mistake. Ohio defending MAC tournament champs. Round 32 a year ago. Toledo hasn't been to the NCAA.
Two different conferences, Kent State and MAC, and Bradley in the Missouri Valley, completely transformed from what they were a couple weeks ago.
Rollins to take Hamilton apiece.
Rollins get going, averaging 20 points a game for Toledo. Because if he doesn't, they're going to be in trouble.
Here he is. The handoff, and he hits. His second field goal of the game.
You know, when you're understand their role and pick their spots when Kent State needs a bucket.
Kent State is shooting 58% of his game, partner. Rollins trying to get going, as he did in the Akron game here a couple of weeks ago. We had for play tonight. He's had an absolutely sensational year for John Gross. Moss on the bounce. Rollins in the corner. Gets a nice roll. It's a three. Home against these Rockets. About to engineer a season sweep. Impressive. Rollins in transition, thinking 3-2 strong. Want to see the rebound foul by Rollins, who's had a really tough night.
Score, they're 80, but Northern, they're hanging right with them.
Yeah, they are. Not only hanging, but up by one. And there's the first points of the day for Ryan Rollins, averaging 19 points. Good look, but it wouldn't go down for Zion Russell. Rollins on the move. Ryan Rollins can cover some ground.
He's so, don't come away with a basket. That hurts.
Rollins around Crump. That's a mismatch for Ryan Rollins. Too much quickness for a sophomore from number 3 player in Illinois his senior year. And once again, the lead, well, momentarily was single digits, but Rollins. Rollins, he'll pull up from 3. Shoemade able to tap it back to Milner.
If you're a Northern fan.
Same starters on the floor for Toledo. That's a tough miss to start it out. Edward Manuel gets the start and gets the Hankerson. Crump did a nice little tiptoe job to get back in bounds. Well, we've seen a couple of forced shots here by Rollins to start the second half.
Surprising.
Zul Quest, 6'7" senior from Gallatin, Tennessee. Back-to-back dunks for NIU. And now a block by Quest.
Goes down.
Dennis, the pass through traffic, Rollins, and one. Scoring prowess today for Caleb Thornton. Came in averaging 8 points per game. He has 11. Rollins around his screen for a 3. Milner was looking for the pass right there. That's a pretty safe way to go, is to go to Ryan Rollins. Now
his last 4. That's that competitiveness.
Rollins, a little shake and bake move. And now we're starting to see that flare. Here comes Milner. Dennis back to Shoemate. That was Williams, got a hand on the ball initially, but there you go. Carl, offensive glass, that time it's Rollins.
Yep, another second chance points for
Toledo opened with the first 5.
And he led him in scoring in that game 1, 19 against this Toledo team. Ryan Rollins answering with a 3 of his own.
He has been just ridiculous roll off. Nothing is coming easily for Ohio right now on the offensive end. Rollins, how did he get that to go?
That's just hang time by Ryan Rollins. I thought that was going to be blocked. Or it's gonna...
With Rollins, the passing lane was closed down almost immediately by Miles Brown. Rollins. Ha.
Set him up middle, fake the spin baseline, went to the step back.
Lead B. Rollins trying to break down Schmock. He does. Shot clock at 3. Dennis. Rollins has to hurry to get it off in time. That's his first miss from the floor in this game, and the Bobcats force a shot clock violation.
He's got their crowd on there.
Mark Sears, the league's 3rd leading scorer. Meanwhile, the 2nd leading scorer in the conference at the other end gets to 13 points to go along with 8 rebounds and 6 assists.
He's a very selective.
Minutes left. Ohio may well have another run in them, but will it be enough? Gonna get Schmock going after the rebound. A miss. Shoemate's offensive rebound. 3 from Rollins wouldn't drop. There's still time.
They want to get north and south and get downhill towards the rim.
Kind of like that?
Yep, just like that, Ryan Rollins.
Field goal percentage, offense and defense. Some very impressive metrics and analytics for the Rockets. Ryan Rollins bangs home the 3. That's on the board. Bumbalo 4th in the league in 3-pointers made per game. At the other end, Rollins with the answer. Ryan Rollins 6 points early. First one to 120 may be the victor here. It's like an NBA game. Turning the corner. Couldn't get the roll and rebounded by the Cardinals.
It allows other players around the perimeter to get shots and drives. Just too worried about taking away the paint.
Rollins slices to the rim. Rebound comes away to the Rockets, muscling it up. Until the last game, he only had 2 points in the last game, but had gone 6 straight in double figures before that. Here's Rollins attacking the rim. Fadeaway jumper is smooth.
Smooth is the word. I mean, it's...
First did hit the iron, rebounded easily by the Rockets. All the way to the rim, up and in. Ryan Rollins.
He's good.
5 minutes left in the first half. Ball State has controlled the action. Rollins gets it back and lays it up and in.
See, that's really impressive. I mean, he had a very clinic. 17 of 30 overall between both teams.
Body's hitting the floor, and it's a foul on Toledo. Had the hot hand. Unable to pick up where he left off, but the rebound tapped out to Rollins, who had 14 points. Milner also had 14 points. Rollins unable to add to his total. He's a freshman and one of the leading contenders for Freshman of the Year in the MAC. Rollins, tough fadeaway. Not tough for him. 16 points for Ryan Rollins.
He's so good.
By 13 in Toledo a couple weeks ago. Rollins tees up the 3. Strong rebound by Sparks. For Ball State. Rollins. Nice move.
I like the way he does that. Rollins created space.
Halftime. An entertaining game from Worthen Arena. Rollins will quick trigger the 3. Tipped up a couple of times. Carcona going to work. The Rockets' Shoemate clears the glass. Turning on the Jets for the easy layup, Ryan Rollins.
Every single game.
Milner and Rollins have been the offensive stars for Toledo tonight as Rollins comes up short. And another flop. 6 turnovers for Ball State, 5 for Toledo. Excellent for both teams. Rollins, the 3. And the rebound corralled by Sparks. Moss had it knocked away, gets it back. Rollins fadeaway jumper. Couldn't get the roll and rebounded by the Cardinals.
A couple of years ago, he's had 3 different knee injuries. ACL tears, meniscus tear, playing for the Philippine national team and whatnot. But he's a guy that's really going to elevate them on the defensive end of the floor. He's supposed to be back
over one of the top teams, the top team for that matter. First place Toledo for another 25 seconds. Rollins comes up short. Offensive rebound, Saunders.
The full court pressure defense applied here by the Rockets. 16.5 to play here in the first half. That one's knocked away. Eagles' 3rd turnover of the game. 3 from the right side. That's Rollins, and he fills it up on the right. Down by Mihai Carcona. Rollins comes off the screen. McBride was right there with him. His shot, no good. Loose underneath, and then corralled by the Rockets. Far up those 4 miscues, the Rockets have cashed in for 5 points. They themselves have only turned it over twice. Eastern, no points off turnovers. Now here's Rollins, catch and shoot 3 left side and bury it through. That extends the lead 20.
That's incredible, and good on him to go through that slump that he went through and battle back and have back-to-back big games.
He needed 40 going into Saturday's game against Miami, and I mentioned the 28 that he put up. That is a station. It's a 5-0 run for the Eagles, 8-4 if you go back a little bit further. Rockets now 12 of 24, make it 12 of 25 after that miss. Rollins, though, with the rebound, gets it over to Raheem Moss. Highlights, we'll hear from head coach Stan Heath about the first 20, but right now it is a 5-point game, 40-35, Rockets on top of Eastern Michigan. Spotsville able to grab that one as Rollins shot offline. Well, we are back underway here at the George Gervin game above center. You just saw there's who comes out here in the second half and now increases that lead to 12.
Yeah, and then that shot from Farrakhan didn't look as confident as he had earlier in the game. And then Toledo takes it coast to coast. Spotsville getting
down there on the wireless microphone. I got to meet her after the game. Grandma Sheila is her name.
Ah.
Talked about the picture she has kind of stapled or pinned on the back of her shirt. And I told her, I said, I need to get that screen printed for you.
Got to do it. Defense. We've just seen 3 straight possessions where they didn't let Toledo do exactly what they wanted, which is what they did for the first minute and 45 seconds.
And this time they get behind the defense. That's Ryan Rollins. Got right behind Darion earlier this year, as well as Bowling Green and Buffalo by just 1 game. So that game at Buffalo certainly looming large as they wrap up that 3-game road trip. McBride will grab the rebound. A near 20-point lead. Whittled down to 10, and Eastern ended up winning that game by 10. So if it wasn't for all those threes early in the game, maybe that's a different story.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's a microcosm of just the unluckiness sometimes, the ball not bouncing your way. That defense is getting represented by the worst team in the league by far, and is a 16 seed getting stomped by a 1 seed. You want these guys to earn their way to a 13, 14, or even a 12 seed and have a chance in their first game.
Screen gets set up. Now Rollins drives in. He'll just pull up jumper.
And smooth.
Does everything right. And there, even gets his team an extra opportunity.
Triple have a pick, taken right back. Dennis, here's Ryan Rollins. We're way strong for the reigning MAC freshman.
Toledo being active, offensive rebound opportunities as well. Both of these teams need to shore up on the defensive rebounds.
Rollins to the basket for 2. Floats and hits. Fall away jumper can't hit. Last loss, Toledo. New Year's Day, Kent State. Last loss, Akron. Guess who? Kent State. Earlier this month on CBS.
Shoemate, great recovery.
J2 Shoemate. We saw the defense. Here's some offense. A feed for Rollins, who gets it done in the paint. Normally
just really no flow for Akron. Credit Toledo for doing that to him, but just not coming on all cylinders.
What a stroke for Rollins, finally up to 6 points on the saves the possession. Here's Rollins to the baseline. Pump fake, hangs, and hits, rolls in. Tough shot.
How good is that? Dave, outstanding possession from Akron. 2 paint touches, wide open clear shot for one of their best shooters. Got to be happy with that, except for the last result.
Rollins to the basket, follows. Get within range here in the second half. The under 8 media timeout coming in the next dead ball. Rollins wants to flip the script. Back iron miss. Rebound for Clark.
You got to trust that, but at the same time and situation, I'd love to find Trimble with Freeman for an easy one.
Rim run, Rollins. Freeman with the 4 fouls got his way.
And he couldn't. He needed to burn a timeout to execute. So Akron just has stolen momentum. And here, good defense
on the timer. Free throw line jumper. Wow. Coach, it was contested, and Rollins hit. It's an amazing story. He's overcome so much to become one of the top players in the country. Rollins, deep shot, buries it. Rattles home a 3 for Toledo. General. 3 threes, 14 points. Michael Dawson tonight for Akron. Rollins almost travels, gathers and scores. Tough shot in traffic.
He's got a knack for it, you know.
10 of the timer, Rollins driving in. Does it on both ends. Ryan Rollins has taken this game over. 3 on the timer. Dennis for Rollins. Launches a deep 3. Misses everything. But really, that's okay. Good possession. Lost it, 10 to shoot. The fans react to everything here. 5 on the timer. Reigning back freshman of the year, Ryan Rollins splashes a 3.
How good is Rollins? I mean, that's in Vanderplas and Carter. They can knock it down on from 3.
Preseason second team All-MAC. Rollins step back. Deep 3 has another. Ryan Rollins feeling it from deep.
Good dig by Raheem Moss on help defense. Really kind of forced Carter into a bad fadeaway shot on the baseline.
Here's Rollins to take for 2.
Wow.
He is long.
Wow. Yeah.
He is athletic and jets through the paint.
Because how often they're switching the style of defense they're playing. You're seeing 3-quarter court, full court press, man-to-man. And you see in matchup zone, it's not allowing them to get into a rhythm. That's Rollins again.
Woo. To Rollins again. Doing it both ends. Hesitation from 15. Too strong this time. Vanderplas the rebound. Here's session. Dennis regains, loose change. Rollins thought about a 3. 5 on the timer. Hangs. Back iron miss this time for Ryan Rollins. Schmock the 1-0. Cool, and it's awesome. Rollins needs help. Bailout. Miller Jr. under 10 to shoot. Under a minute left first half. Here's Rollins in the corner. Now this time, flunk on a 3 try for Ryan Rollins, who's cooled off after a
set. See what they get here.
7-second differential, game clock, shot clock. Rollins too strong. Clock in pursuit of the rebound comes to Saunders. Fakes.
Have him just be patient. No reason to get rattled. 20 minutes left. I'd like to put him in ball screen scenario. I think that's where he's most effective.
Rollins again.
Man, I mean, this kid.
Urging the crowd to be involved. Rollins wants them to quiet down and converts, and they'll all sit down. Now can the home team deliver on the defensive end? Rollins, top of the key. Perfect.
Oh, man. What are we seeing right now? This is high level. Use it to your advantage. Attack.
Great point. Game has changed a bit. Rollins free, top of the key. That was out. And Vanderplas has the rebound. He's got 5 boards tonight.
That's
That's an offensive foul. That should have been an offensive foul. Rollins, baseline, steps back, hits.
Oh, man.
Tough shot, Ryan Rollins. Textbook box out by Milner Jr. Rollins overtones. Can't click from three. We're at a point now to where we're 6 threes a game. Handoff for Rollins from 17. Launches too strong. Rollins, tough shot, fades away over Brown, hits a deep two. Wow.
Player movement, ball movement. Everybody has an opportunity to score the basketball. Limit paint touches. You got Sparks on the inside who's a dominant offensive force. We've seen him on the offensive glass already here this evening. Got to keep ballistic. In their game against Buffalo and Friday, 11 offensive rebounds led to 15 second chance points. They're going to need that kind of effort here this evening as well.
Ryan Rollins can't connect on the three.
Cleveland's going to have to do a better job of.
Ryan Rollins has the answer and an and one opportunity. Thomas season as a Billiken caught COVID, didn't fully recover until it was too late to really start making a difference on the floor again. Ryan Rollins in transition.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins went an and one there, didn't get it, but that created a turnover for the Rockets.
Toledo on an 8-0 run. And Rollins denied on the way up. Been great scoring balance so far for Toledo. 7 Rockets have scored. Ryan Rollins was halfway down and out.
Then another steal by Toledo. They get a run out.
It's the 5th Ball State turnover. Here is Moss. He missed a dunk. And that kind of sums up the last 3+ minutes. It's been a while since anybody has scored.
Foul against Cochran. Again, that's a guy that Ball State cannot afford to lose for extended periods of time in this ballgame.
No, indeed. Ryan Rollins to the rack.
And right there, Cochran, smart decision. He had to back off. More time is going to help in that area. And obviously, Coach Whitford, the hope is, by the end of conference play and into the tournament, you're starting to hit on all cylinders.
Wayward Ball State pass at the other end. Shoemate the kick out to Dennis. Extra pass for Ryan Rollins.
Great ball movement by Toledo there.
Rollins will try an open 3 and hit it.
Yeah, but again, great ball movement by Toledo, swinging the ball from.
It's Ball State 5 points a game down in Columbus, Georgia. Ryan Rollins from the outside. That's his 3rd 3 of the night. He's got 19.
Yeah, he's feeling it right.
19 points on 12 shots. 7 of 12 from the floor. Count the bucket. Got a bump from Mickey Pearson Jr. on his way up. Basketball career. Look at the guys on the floor right now for Toledo. 4 of them were here last year. Ray J. Dennis, the only addition. For Ball State, really, it's all new. That chemistry can only come in time.
It only come in time. As long as they get the ball game, 1 possession at the half, just Toledo really caught fire here in the second half and made life tough for the Cardinals on the defensive end.
Got to make it tougher for Ryan Rollins to get to the basket.
Yeah. Bowling Green on their second possession. And Rollins trying to get by Brenton Mills. He does. 5-0 Toledo.
Yeah, he got an angle on Brenton Mills, and there's no going to the basket. They need some help side.
Rollins gets a little space with Diggs and buries the 3. Back to a 7-point Toledo lead.
Yeah, he sets to build. He had a couple injuries, ankles and whatnot that have set him back a little bit, but he's been a fun guy to watch coming off the bench.
Ryan Rollins, the 3. They lost to number 22 Michigan State by 13. Their only MAC loss coming in here came to Kent State 66-63 at the MAC Center. Ryan Rollins was looking for
a little heat check in the zone for Chandler Turner, knocking down the last 2.
Rollins, 12 points so far. Short, lands in the hands of
more comfortable in their seat. Falcons are going to have to give them something to get excited about.
Curtis offline, and O'Neal couldn't pull it in.
Was in that the second part of the second half.
Bowling Green has brought in Cam Young and Myron Gordon. Gordon, his pass tipped, recovered by.
Coming in more fired up. They've been feeding off the energy or the quietness of the crowd.
The handoff to Gordon. Now Rollins will let it go. Gordon, stop. He's got 9 points on the day after that make, just above his season average.
Just the 8th. This will be the 9th free throw attempt for the Falcons.
29. Milner with 20. He said if we have those type of numbers, it's not going to be a good day for us.
Less than 3 to play. 89-68 the score, Chandler.
But Moss comes out of there with it for the Rockets.
2 blocks by Shoemate in that possession.
And Rollins with a smooth move, a little twister down the left side of the lane. Gets his first 2 and brings the screen from Shoemate. Gets it back out to him, wide open. Short with that one, and the rebound tapped to Rollins. Pull up 15-footer is money for Ryan Rollins. He has 4.
Yeah, good opportunity that time by Toledo.
He'll curl to the right side. Defense comes in to the left side. Has the shot rejected by McNamara. Nice job defensively by Eli McNamara. It stays with his iron, but that's about it as Rollins comes out of there with a rebound, and down the floor in a hurry goes Ryan Rollins. The sophomore step back 3 is off the mark, and the rebound tapped out to Milner. Back to Rollins, right down the heart of the lane to the basket, and scores.
Yeah, good job by Shoemate that time.
Saunders had it knocked away, had to chase it down, gets it to Shoemate. Rollins with 12 to shoot, got by his man, drives with the left hand, little floater off the glass and in for Ryan Rollins. He's got 10. His center court. Left side 8 to shoot for Rollins. Now Shoemate. He's going to fake, give it back to Rollins. Deep water 3, left side is good for Ryan Rollins. He's got 13. Big, that patented big that they've been able to go to as they've had in the past. Ryan Rollins is a big part of that 5 around 1 as he takes it in, misses. Rebound chased down by Mekhi Larry for Miami. Larry will second half for Miami as Rollins tries to change that as he's got the ball left side against Day Grant. Step back 3. Yep. And Ryan Rollins, 16 points in the game for Toledo. Back to it.
You know how well he can shoot it. Good patience by Miami. Work the left side of the court, then find the wide open on the right side.
Rollins right to the basket on the left side. He's got another hoop. He's got 18 in the game. Tied and the rebound bounces out to Rollins. Here come the Rockets 4 on 3. Rollins left side. He'll pull back. Throw up a 3, miss it. Long rebound to Day Grant. A baseball pass ahead. The Saunders gives it out top to Carcona. Carcona gives it off to the right side to Rollins. He'll pull the trigger on a 3. It's long, and the rebound is out to Delonte Brown as Myjai White battling. 3 is off the mark, and Rollins with the rebound. Nice box out by Milner that time on Aya. Rollins driving all the way through. Swatted out of bounds again by Precious Aya. Elbow against Day Grant. It's a little bit of a push and then gives it out to Rollins. Rollins will cross to the left side. Fire from 17. Bounces out on him. And Larry with the rebound running the other on the left side. Working to the wing against Myjai White. Crossover dribble. Pull up 16-footers. Good. Ryan Rollins says, give me the ball, coach. I'm ready to play.
And that's what you had at either end. Get the basketball, either on the defensive end or there for the offensive rebound.
Rollins gets a screen to the basket off the glass. Too strong. And Delonte Brown with a rebound. 2-point ball game ahead to Day Grant.
Chris Austin comes in, somebody that followed him from Arizona State to DeKalb. Started 6 games on the inside for the Sun Devils last year. Good recovery by Ryan Rollins. His first point.
Yeah, good defense by Hankerson there to get the original block, but Rollins picked up, I believe it was his 4th foul with 10 minutes to go in the ball game, and he left him in, and he was able to persevere through it, and was able to finish the ball game.
Ray J. Dennis, no. Ryan Rollins, yes on the follow. Toledo shooting 71% so far, 10 of 14. They've only attempted 1 3. There's the second, won't go for Rollins. And run down by Anthony Crump. He's a tough matchup. on the floor for the first time since that second timeout that Rashawn Bernot had to call. And in particular, he was not happy with Zulqueth, was really focused on him in the ensuing timeout. Rollins missing the jumper.
It's going to take time, and it's frustrating, and sometimes it may be in the moment. You got to have that big picture in mind. And as a player, you just got to continue to learn and grind, and that's the recipe to get better and get out of the here this afternoon.
A lot of opportunities for some guys that have been on the outside looking in the backcourt to see big minutes without Keyshawn Williams. Milner going to work.
Foul line, under out of bounds. You got to find different ways to get it done. We'll see what it transpires here, especially the first 4 minutes, like you said.
Not the start you want if you're Coach Bernot. An air ball from Anthony Crump, and then an uncontested drive at Black in the absence of Keyshawn Williams. So far, 5 points on 7 shots, 1 of 5 from 3. Here comes Rollins, rising up over Crump.
A good read by Ryan Rollins there. Looked like he wanted to get all the way to the rim, but with Crump got double figures here to start the second half. So then who you do it off? Raheem Moss? Well, Raheem Moss has 9 in that opening half, so you're a little bit leery of that as well. And just it's one of those, you got to pick your poison, and just.
And one opportunity here for Anthony Crump. Dorian.
Mason, I spoke to Northern Illinois High.
He got poked in the eye.
Yeah, maybe he took a shot or he got pushed nonetheless.
Rollins in a hurry. The runner goes over Austin.
Didn't do well, so what we got to get better at. They stay locked in and focused, on that. It's funny. I was talking to JT Shoemate before the ball game, and his sister, Kate, plays tools. We saw his ability to handle the ball, in open space, get to the rim. He's taken a couple threes here today. They haven't fallen, but
that one did.
Yeah, that one did for Ryan Rollins. But Crump
college basketball, it doesn't take much. You get a few guys that can really share the basketball well and play good team basketball. It doesn't take much.
Bounce pass back door. Rollins with the stuff.
Jackson just kind of got caught sleeping at the top of the key. Rollins, what it's been like for Tony Barbie since he's been able to start practicing in the fall.
7-point lead for the Rockets. Rollins for 3. And the rebound by Henderson.
Free looks at the bucket for the Rockets. Throwing them down. If you're the Chippewas, I don't know why you're even fouling there. Rollins is going to throw this thing down. There's almost no for Central Michigan and 7 for Toledo. Both teams sharing the basketball really well.
Rollins the 3. Straight on line. From 11 non-conference contests, and only 2 came inside this building. Both were losses. Rollins off balance, couldn't get it to go. Off the miss, see him a big scoring runs to open this one up. 3 ball, short but an offensive rebound. Inside, Dennis kicks out to Moss. And another offensive rebound for Shoemate. Rollins for 3. Few good looks for Toledo.
Good job of smart possession.
Rollins blocked there by Basaint's length. They've kept him quiet in the second half. Hasn't scored. Rollins trying to get something going in the second half. Tough finish.
And that's not an easy finish.
Good movement by Toledo to the corner. Rollins. That's the guy they wanted, just didn't go down.
You'd love to see ball movement like that rewarded with.
Lead for the Rockets, 8.5 to play in Mount Pleasant. Would be an impressive road win. Rollins a little bit too strong. Basaint the board.
But again, we're talking.
Rejection doesn't matter.
Rollins trailing, and guy continues to put up numbers. What's he averaging on the year? Almost 20 a game at 19.
Rollins, turnaround, short. And good battle with Jack Webb, and a jump ball. We'll give it right back to center. Turnaround coming up against Western Michigan on Saturday. Another home game. And another team that's going to be desperate for a victory. 2 more points for the Rockets.
Steps into a three. Not there. Rollins, the rebound. This is the MAC Freshman of the Year from last season. Now the sophomore, and a partially blocked three. Keyshawn Saunders in the game as well for Toledo. Here's Rollins elevating. Missed the shot. Soft touch, but wouldn't go down. Kent State with the Milner. Now to Rollins. Flashes come at him with a double team, and he'll shoot anyway over Carey. Left it short. Hamilton the rebound. Of threes here in this first half. That is a 5-point trip down the court thanks to the backcourt steal. Rollins trying to answer, and they throw it away. Shoemate 8, step back 3. Santiago hit that one long, and Rollins on the move. The pull-up. Tip not there. Third effort, no. Dennis providing some good defense, knocked it away, and it's stolen away. This is Rollins, maybe his first 2 coming up. He can't get it to go, but wow. Dennis is there for the putback. Then there is a push by Jacobs.
Muscle on that one from Malik Jacobs from the corner.
Yeah, Moss caught the air ball. Here come the Rockets now. Rollins backs in on Giovanni Santiago. Help coming.
Good board by Justin Hamilton, and he found his guy.
Carry again right here, Ben.
Yeah, good find by Malik Jacobs, finding his open man, and like we said, almost with the closeout from Moss.
Rollins way off the mark, forced it up there. Moss could not. Moss left his feet and found Rollins for 3, and there it is. His first field goal of the afternoon, and he has 7. Oh, from the corner will not fall, and the rebound comes down to Dennis. Lead pass to Rollins and the pull-up, yes.
Rollins might have something going here.
Ryan Rollins picked up by Jacobs. On the baseline, tough angle, hit the side of the board. Santiago on a run out for Kent State. And this lobs it into Rollins. Kent State in the man-to-man. Rollins will shoot from deep, nail it. That ties it up at 62.
Has 13 points, only double-figure scorer for Toledo, leading the MAC in scoring heading in. There's Shoemate, nice high-low touch. The D2 transfer a bucket.
This second half differently than you do the whole game. You have to be smart. Good decisions, no turnovers. That's how you win at the closing moments of a game.
Shoemate from Rollins gathers, lays it in. What a look, high-low, Ryan Rollins, the jump pass.
Rockets handle this adversity. They haven't had a whole lot of it during the course of this year. Rollins gave it up. Shoemate to drain that deep 3 in front of the Toledo. That didn't go down was Harrison Henderson. Ryan Rollins in a hurry. Rollins gave it up. Milner to rock the rim. Rollins got it away. No question about it. Terrific lead guard. This is Ryan Rollins. Gave it up. Milner to unload the 3 and book that triple. Back to
by Curtis. You got to get a little closer. Shoemate was too far away from him. You got to contest those drives to the basket. You also got to maybe try to take a charge. You cannot allow the Falcons to get in that close to the bucket.
Milner getting his hands on it in transition. Here's Moss to the rim. Goes up for it. Wanted a foul, but able to dunk it through. And it's a 45-23 lead for Toledo.
Like Ray J. Dennis.
Rollins with the lead back for Shoemate. Shoemate finds some room in the lane. No one there to stop him. He's got a surprise.
Here is Rollins guarded by Mbala. That's an interesting matchup. And it gets it to the corner. There's a 3, and it goes. Raheem Moss
still does it at a high clip.
No good for Sagu from the free throw line. And a nice cut and a big dunk for JT Shoemate off another nice feed. Toledo run takes us back to a 4-point game. Rollins kicks it out. That's going to be a 3 attempt from Milner, and right off the bat, the Rockets are hot. Get it into Mbala, and he cannot hit the little turnaround. That would have kept a little momentum going for the Bulls from that Segu half quarter. And on the other end, the big guy, Carcona with the jumper.
And he does. That's just strength from Skogman, and then nearly another highlight block at the other end.
Dennis, top of the key, hits the three. Huge answer back for Toledo after. Rollins steps back, feeds Shoemate for three, and wow is right.
I mean, that is a sit.
From the corner, Milner knocks down the triple.
JT Shoemate that time.
Toledo went on a big push late to take the lead going into the locker room. Turnover to start the half and a run out. Dunking it, Ray J. Dennis to start the second half. What's at stake? Lower seeds. Makai Larry the three. And Rollins comes away with the rebound. Rockets in transition. To the rim, laying it up and in.
It's a
difficult shot. Grant's tip is rebounded by Dennis. Rollins in transition. Rollins kicks it out for Milner, who will pop the three. He got it.
Short, and the long rebound to Milner. Wide open Seth Milner. Yes! Toledo want to spurt them. Moss lines up the three, and he gets it to go home. Toledo is shooting very well from deep. Milner does it on the other end. The run out ahead. Moss for two.
You get a shot block like that, you got to have a fullback. A shot goes up, someone's got to get back right.
We are very scared to play him tonight. JT Shoemate. Good. That's a heck of a start to the second half for him.
Yeah, great find by Rollins. Attack the back. Western struggling behind the arc. They got to get back to getting the ball at the basket.
JT Shoemate for two. The Toledo lead just getting larger and larger. Norman's three off. Another board for Ryan Rollins at 6. Milner, another jam. He attacks the rim with authority. Man, that was hard contact. Rollins for Milner. 2 more. The strength of Seth is on display.
Toledo's ripped off 9 straight points. Making 11 straight points, a chance for 12 from the line. JT Shoemate is having himself pinned to the backboard by Shoemate. He was the standout offensively for Toledo in the first half. Give him 18 points for the game.
Yeah, good job by Ryan.
Healy's had a really good ball game now. 16 points. Moss is open and hits.
It's good inside-out basketball. Milner finds Moss. Moss's basketball. Layups that look like they're automatic in Central Michigan. That's automatic right there for Toledo.
The dunk show. That's been the second half for Toledo.
Rebound for Milner Jr. He's had an all-MAC type season himself. Maybe not the notoriety. Rollins is getting. Dennis hits the floater. That was beautiful.
Lag and that confidence in full effect on the road. Man.
Got 14. Take for Dennis for 2. He's had a fabulous first half. 13.
Scholarships for Princeton. Let's not forget, if you were a senior during the COVID year, you were done. No post-grad work there or 5th year.
Shoemate, nice catch and lay in on the pass from Rollins.
Right there results in the rebound to Rollins, who adds over 6 rebounds per game to his nearly 20-point average. They just keep getting deeper and deeper for JT Shoemate.
Rollins, the dump off to Shoemate, got Sam Towns there, going to retake the lead.
Yeah, good job. JT Shoemate just beat the rotating defense.
Milner, uncontested mid-range J, and he buries it. 7 points for Milner.
Yeah, he's developed into a 3-level scorer since coming on campus a season ago.
By Rollins, who runs down the miss. Rollins in a hurry, the dump off to Shoemate.
Yeah, nice job, Ryan Rollins. He didn't force the layup there, and Shoemate did a good job running the floor and got
Ryan Rollins with a big block. Shoemate goes up, got the soft touch from mid-range. He has yet to make a three. He's got 6 points, the league's best.
Scoring inside the paint off of the dribble drive and making the ability to make the extra pass like that right there.
And what an extra pass it was from Rollins to Shoemate for the flush.
I think Carter expected contact on the play and didn't get it.
Shoemate the short J.
You got 7 minutes left in this one.
Ohio with 15 points off of those turnovers. JT Shoemate firing from the corner.
Yeah, that's the answer to Sears' three. Shoemate was over.
Rollins with 16 rebounds. Seth Milner, here he comes.
Toledo with the ball out of the timeout, an open three, and Seth Milner knocks it down.
That's big for Toledo. Got the big man Peyton Sparks inside. See, now they're starting
Rollins
to get some offensive boards. See, there you go.
Toledo's starting to get
like
a lot
Toledo.
of hoops around the rim. Shoemate leads to a Ball State timeout. He's got Milner wide open. He'll shoot another three. He got it. Seth Milner has 12 points. Rollins going one-on-one. Toledo back down by 8. Milner bangs home the three. 17 points for Seth Milner.
Well, look at this now. Toledo's got a chance to take their first lead since the first couple minutes of the game.
16:50 left. Yep. 16:50 left in the first half. 11-8 was the last time Toledo led.
Oh, another good look, but couldn't get it, and Derek Ballard was boxed out. Now Rollins trying to push it, feeds it left side, taking it to the rack and scoring are the Rockets. Cedric Milner puts it up and in.
And unfortunate.
Left wing three for him, that one offline. Eastern now 1 for their last 12 from the three-point arc. And Cedric Milner quickly takes it in.
Bad shot offense.
Dennis from the Chicago area. Parents are here, told today in a Zoom. Watching him, rooting him on, and rooting on JT Shoemate's deep three. However, this team down 13 now. Rollins silent so far for the Max leading scorer. Dennis making some noise on the baseline. Perfect. Isn't that something? When you
The rim, he knows how to play the angles around that square on the backboard.
Rollins, ball movement. Seth Milner Jr. free for three, splashes a deep triple. Flick. Schmock, whose family's right in front of us. See a bunch of Schmock jerseys here. Rooting him on, can't pull down the rebound. Shoemate trails and cans a deep three for his first points of the night.
And that's the guy.
Rockets ranked first in the MAC. Field goal defense. Shoemate baseline, cans it. Another D2 transfer. He and Schmock were great players at that level who trained. Second field goal of the night for Vanderplas. Had a great chat with him this week, working on his second master's degree here in Ohio. It's impressive. Dennis free, splashes a deep three-pointer.
That was Ohio's really tough catch to make. That was a bullet pass going behind his head.
Dennis trying to answer and quiet the crowd, does just that. Ray J. Dennis for three.
Can get to the basket. Demaris Jacobs got to the basket there, but couldn't cash in. Ryan Rollins. It was walled off by Cochran. The kick out to JT Shoemate. Best three-point shooter in the conference at 50.
They got that one to go there.
Rollins turning the corner, kicking to Milner. He'll fire and hit.
That's a big shot there by Cedric Milner. Came up.
Mickey Pearson Jr. transfer from TCU. Dennis. Yes.
Ray J. Dennis comes in.
In and out. Milner, they left him alone again. And again, he makes Ball State pay.
Yeah, did a good job. He was able to get it hot. He's got 2 triples already in the first 5 minutes.
4 made threes for the game. Ray J. Dennis scoring on the inside. Todd Kowalczyk made this point after the bowling.
In this half, Ball State a lot of credit hanging around.
Here's Cooper Jacoby from the top, letting it fly. He's an Indiana kid from Sellersburg. Always to anybody at home seeking them out. Rollins commanding so much attention, finds a wide open Ray J. Dennis. The lead is 20.
That's a great respacing by Ray J. Dennis.
Inside, would not go down. I like that play by O'Neal, just trying to go to the bucket. And Shoemate beats O'Neal down the floor for the lay-in. But not getting back on defense. That's going to kill you all game. Aired back and threw it down. 10-point game. Rollins to Shoemate. Answer. Couple of two-hand flushes for Toledo. Myron Gordon the other way. Good defense by Rollins to disrupt that. And now up ahead to Milner. Milner's going to get a layup and one. Fouled by Curtis. Rollins. Now the switch has Plowden on him. That's a matchup you want to keep your eyes on. Dennis 3. Ray J. Dennis puts Toledo. Mills at the line. All those great shot blockers from BG. Kirk Cowan, Josh Olmson, Kevin Netter, Chase Riders. Turner came over to help. Now looking for an outlet. Shoemate from 3. Finds Shoemate. A little turnaround. Nothing but the bottom. He just looks so comfortable out there. That was just all in one motion. Just got it. That's like a little elbow to elbow jump shot. Ray J. Dennis with it. 11 points for him tonight. Ball around. It's Curtis driving. Got caught and threw it away. Up ahead, Milner. Rollins to the corner, Milner. 3 is good. 20 now for Milner. Assist.
Ryan Rollins back in with the 2 fouls. Along with a couple of freshmen, E.J. Farmer and Mihai Karkona. Oh, from the top, Seth Milner. Up against a team that's been on a long COVID pause, and the energy level of all 3 has been a little bit different. The one consistency between the 3 teams is Mihai Karkona found himself wide open underneath the batter.
Ralph Bassane, the team's leading rebounder for Central Michigan, had nothing on Milner. Backdoor Shoemate with the flush, and he's fouled. What a finish. Wow. He has the ball, and then Oscar Lopez is a guy that you turn to when your offense is really starting to struggle a little bit, and he's a guy that can get scores off the bounce. So both out of the line,
making it a much closer game.
Carey now with 11 after that little floater goes down. Underneath, Milner puts it up and in.
Good finish. He was working around a lot of flying bodies out there.
Saunders will come in, and play some minutes. Karkona comes in and plays some minutes, but mostly it's the starters.
Freeman on a bounce. Mismatch again. Enrique Freeman spins and scores. He gets what he... Clark for Ali. Got to figure it's going up. Clark will shoot instead. From our miss, Rollins the rebound, and that will do it for the opening 20. So
Freeman touches.
Back in on Milner. It's almost always going up from the baseline. Everything but drop. And a rebound for Rollins. He's got the last 7 Toledo points. Moss on the move.
In the air, both of them up and not fouling.
Castaneda, no. Freeman a hand on it. Got tripped up, no whistle. Rollins is on the move for Toledo. Hangs, can't hit, but does shoot some free throws.
Hebrew for beautiful, so hey, I love that name.
Castaneda off a curl. Too strong this time. And the rebound for Rollins.
Toledo's got to get something moving to the hoop. They got to be aggressive.
It all guy plays at both ends, can defend, and then can really score the ball at the other end.
The freshman Milner off the mark. Rollins in a hurry.
This is good defense, playing defense with your feet, not your hands. Staying out of foul trouble is a big key on the defensive end.
Always ready to pull that trigger is Cam Healy. That one didn't drop. And their shot clock getting tight. It's at 5. That never got to the rim. Cameron Healy thought maybe he got clipped. Rollins.
But great defense at one end for Central Michigan, leading to that break coming the other way.
Firing that 3 and having it kick out on him was Ralph Bissath, the 6'7" Bissath, and Harrison Henderson, the starting 5. Shot clock at 5. Firing the 3 that didn't go down was Harrison Henderson. Ryan Rollins, coach, even better man than a human being. Gene Bartow. Rollins to raise up. Came up short. Big offensive board. Toledo inside 3 minutes left. The one with the
look for him. They're not making a concerted effort to find number 25. 3-point attempt. Missed there from Culture. And here come the Rockets. I'm really impressed with Ray J. Dennis. You know, this is a Toledo team, Toledo University, which is going to lose their athletic director, Mike O'Brien, who, if you've ever done games in here before, you know, great play on both ends of the court by Toledo. And quite honestly, a team that scores as well as Bowling Green, they have struggled mightily in the half court.
Rollins was all the way in the heart of their defense.
First 2 of the game for Ryan Rollins. Mbala with a little turnaround hook from in the lane won't go. And Rollins will quickly sprint into the front.
Your kindness outshines your highs and lows. Your strength can outlast any bad day because you are greater than your bipolar 1. And you can help take control of your symptoms and ask about Vraylar.
I think that's the right call.
Yep, 3rd foul, as I mentioned, on Segu. Rollins hung in the air and drew another one. And I believe that is the 100th. CO Jack over 1,000 career points between his time at George Washington and here at Buffalo. One of 4 Bulls with over 1,000 career points. One of only 16 teams in the country to. Right, that's stolen away. Janathan Williams 1-on-2. Euro step move short, tapped up, no good. And as we mentioned, you know,
now they've won consecutive MAC championship regular seasons, but they've shared the championship title. They've never won back-to-back outright championships, which they obviously could very well do this season.
So if that has a made to be under consideration for that, should they not win? Look at that blocked shot on the dunk attempt by Janathan Williams.
You gotta just tip your cap to Toledo. They're playing their tails off right now.
1 field goal percentage shooting team. This is amazing to me. This will be the 13th game this season they'll shoot over 50%. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Almost average. It's crazy. They're averaging 48%.
Effortless, and that time we saw the little mid-range jump shot. And Miami here, I know they've shot 5 for 10 to start this game from the 3-point line, but you want to make sure you continue to try to run offense. You don't want to fall.
Leading scorer, and Brown, the team's 3rd leading scorer, both on the bench with 2 fouls. Dennis, offensive rebound, Rollins, he puts it in. Rollins has it, Toledo on a 7-0 run. Rollins behind the back. They'll settle it down. Dennis flips it up from the paint and line. They could desperately use a win to try to get to Cleveland as one of the lower seeds. Makai Larry the 3. And Rollins comes away with the rebound. Rockets in transition.
Baskets out on the break to open this lead up to 5.
22-6 run going back to the first half. Quick fire three, rebounded easily by Rollins for the Rockets. On the run, gliding to 10-point deficit for Miami as Larry missed it. Rollins the rebound. Toledo steadily pulling away here with under 13 minutes to go. This has been the main offensive option for Miami with 15 points. Avance flips it up. And Rollins another rebound for the Rockets. Rollins 7th. Miami had built an 11-point lead. They double-team Brown with 4 on the shot clock. Etzler will fire a 3. And rebound tapped out to Rollins. Toledo very tough to beat at home at Savage Arena.
And just 5 points. The artist White. And the rebound cleared by Rollins.
You can see why Toledo's averaging 80 points a game. They crashed the defensive board.
Scoring in the conference at 19 a game. Oh man, that shot was halfway home for Titus, but it popped out. Here comes Ryan Rollins again.
Their side.
Oh man, Milner does it on the other end. The run out ahead. Moss for 2. You get it. Malik McMillan, a little off on the 3. He's been great from deep recently. 59% over the last 6. 3 out far. Western Michigan needs a bucket, and it's not going to come on that trip.
Western struggling behind the arc. They got to get back to getting the ball.
To say the least, in the second half. Norman's 3 off. Another board for Ryan Rollins at 6. Milner, another jam. He attacks the... Lamar Norman. No.
Boy, great job by Toledo. Hand on the ball, double team, sprinting out of the double team.
Cameron Healy thought maybe he got clipped. Rollins will explode. He had it taken away. And now Rollins is going to reach in and commit the Toledo foul after the basketball.
A few possessions ago, they reversed the ball. Whenever the ball is reversed, you're going to get a pretty high percentage shot, but ball reversal leads to the open 3 by Taylor.
It's got all the way out on him. But Diggs is one of those guys, when he gets going, he can make any kind of shot. He had a couple open looks in the first game, and then he got on fire, started throwing up.
Rollins trying to the backdoor cut. Shoemate trying to hang on to it, lost it out of play.
Maybe. You never know with the ability for some of these guys to come back and play another year. So it may not be a farewell, but at least it gives you
40 hours ago that they stepped off the court. They do not look like a tired team to start the game here in Toledo.
Well, that's what you got to have, too, in these noon games on the road, like you mentioned, coming off a quick turnaround. It certainly has, and you got to give Miami credit. They are hanging tough. It seems every time Toledo's had an answer, they are able to respond with a 3, as we see an offensive foul here on Ryan Rollins going down the other way. One of the few turnovers here.
Runs, a tidal wave sometimes. They're winning games in the conference this year by nearly 17 per game. That's not going to help the cause, but Norman missed a layup.
Ryan Rollins in a hurry. That's a charge. Tell you what, Harrison Henderson making a big impact off the bench early. A bucket at 1. Miller poked away by Ryan Rollins. And Rollins had it knocked away by Healy, and Brian Taylor was back defensively as well. Oh, that's off of Ryan Rollins in Central Michigan's basketball. Wow.
Good job by
in the MAC tournament. They are going to be a difficult out, as when they were last year when Ohio knocked off UVA.
They lost the break in the second round. Travel for Rollins this time, went up for the dunk. That also missed.
Striking distance, I think, is a good sign for Todd Kowalczyk as well as Rockets fans.
Agreed. Rollins lost it. Wow. Been tough. 6 turnovers. 9's the magic number. Mendez. Not this time. Rollins heat up. Silent so far. Offensive foul.
Season on the sideline. He's never in his 11-year career had a losing season. You got names like Tom Izzo, Mark Few.
About to move to 9-7.
Williams averaging 16.1 points per game. He did not play against Toledo the last time these teams played. Coming off a 19-point game against Akron.
Contested. Ryan Rollins, Shoemate diving after it. Here is Sears, 2-on-1. He'll go up, contested by Milner. Didn't matter.
Yeah, great job by Sears. He used his body as a
Rollins climbing the ladder for the rebound. They lost it on the dribble. It's picked up by Sears, and here come the Bobcats. Sears transition triple wouldn't go.
The drought Eastern Michigan had. Now here's Ryan Rollins. He spins, picks up his dribble, 7 to shoot. Another good defensive effort here. 3 straight defensive possessions out of the timeout. So here's Monty. This game is win for EMU.
Yeah, and the frustrations are starting to show. Noah Farrakhan getting a little bit upset with himself, upset that the call didn't come for a foul. They get one back.
Second leading scorer, top in assists. Transfer from USF to the American Conference. Handoff for Rollins, drives the paint, strip Castaneda. Good right on through. Rollins lost the handle. Clark, nice recovery on defense. Ray J. Dennis needs a bailout. Rollins trying to go behind the back, stolen. Clark the fifth. Here comes Akron, pulls up a 3. Rattles. Guard to Mark Sears. Shoemate good position on the seal.
Look at
Rollins.
his ball movement.
Try to beat Shoemate, picked by Sears, foul. Rollins gets in his way. Really good Ohio defense. The all-time Section 5 high school scoring record, 2,900 points. He's a great prep player in New York. Steal, Vanderplas, ahead of head for the hammer. Rollins wants to keep it quiet, as it was in the first half. Offensive foul. How about Carter in the position?
On Friday, Buffalo at home next Tuesday, and another national TV game against Akron on Friday night, the 28th. And that's soft of Ryan Rollins out of bounds, just Toledo's 3rd turnover.
Bowling Green knows Myron Gordon is capable of taking over offensively. And Rollins lost it right into the hands of Diggs. Shoemate.
Great decision by Chandler Turner.
That's Turner now with 8 first half points. Basketball, and he's top 5 in assists. 13-point Toledo lead after the second make.
Myron Gordon wanted that one back. That was just one little extra pass by Mills.
But if they're not falling, Brent, go to the bucket.
Yes.
Rollins fakes, drives, little hang, fire, no good. And a charge is called with 4.1 seconds to go. Rollins picks up his second foul.
And that was a case of Rollins getting up.
8A Grant into a double team into the corner. Finds Rollins on the left wing with 10 to shoot. He'll put it on the floor. And the ball knocked away into the hands of Myjai White. 3-on-2. Myjai White, finger roll.
Dennis, the point guard, Milner, and Shoemate have started every game this year. Active hands from Darwishi Hunter to force the turnover. Here is Hunter in transition, banks it home.
That's what you got to do if you're Northern Illinois. He's the guy that's been through this. He's played here in this arena. He's been through the ups. He's been through the downs. He's the guy that is a young player or a new face in this program you can look to. Good ball movement there by Northern Illinois. Got a clean look, just didn't get it to fall.
And that's a second offensive foul on Ryan Rollins. That will really annoy.
1980. That is a long wait for a Rocket fan base, and I think with some, yeah, like you said, some of those players that they've had, but you look at the players they have now. Could have the pieces here this year.
And this offense, whenever Gio gets hot, the offense gets hot. So look to him to try to find the hot hand from 3, and that's a good start to it right there.
Ball knocked away and stolen away. Carey off to the races. Shoemate back, trailing the play. Rollins. A stutter step. They got him for a travel, and that'll bring us to a break in the action. 7 Rollins. Rollins going to get called on a travel. Carey tried to take the charge. He's flat on his back.
Rollins comes up empty in the rebound to Plowden. Because again, I think just to reiterate, we got a rejection in a big way from Ryan Rollins. Nearly makes it all the way to
the tab tonight, I would venture to guess.
Drinks on him. Dane Grant blocked. Etzler the rebound blocked. Rollins has it. Toledo on a 7-0 run.
For Malik, eyeing up JT's shoemate. JT fell down. McMillan got blocked. Battling down low still, and he had to take
Jason Preston. And Jason Preston really took him under his wing and really led him as a role model. And Mark Sears hasn't missed a beat from where Jason Preston left off.
Ryan Rollins with a big block.
Rebound, and again, Rollins, he is a 3-level scorer right there from mid-range.
Delonte Brown gives it off to Myjai White. He'll fire from 19 off the mark. And that is Moss with the rebound for Toledo. Ahead on the dribble, top of the key to Delonte Brown. Shoemate on him. Down low to Aya. Comes out to Larry. To the right side. And actually, Isaiah Coleman Land's shot was blocked with 30 seconds to go.
It's almost 60% from the floor. Jacobs underneath. Not much room to work with, though. Blocked by Rollins. And on the second effort, Jacobs.
They're going to be able to play with the Toledo Rockets, and that they have through the first 29 minutes. Pass deflected. Taylor threw it away. Shot clock was at 3. Toledo on the run. Basketball coach in this great game. Got to be real proud.
Well, I am. I appreciate that, Michael. And played for my dad at UAB.
Yep.
Coached under my dad at UAB. And
Moss taking it down there. He's a football guy. Strong. Takes it to the lane. Draws the defenders and gives it up.
There's a steal this time for Rollins.
You know what I love about Rollins? He's this clinic right now. Put on by the Rockets.
Shoemate with 19. He had 29 in the last matchup between these two clubs. Ball gets loose and bounced off the foot. In transition, Moss with the lead back.
Let's run as soon as possible because Toledo's just too darn good. And if you let them get too far out, they're not going to give that lead up.
Yeah, and Buffalo is obviously going to have to find an answer defensively. They're going to have to protect the ball better. That's turnover number 5. It's a
22 when Toledo went on a big push late to take the lead going into the locker room. Turnover to start the half and a run out. Dunking it, Ray J. Dennis to start the second half.
Third time today, he has made that mid-range jump shot look so easy. Just gets to his spot, rises up, looks so effortless to him. He's a terrific offensive player.
And he comes away with the steal. Extra pass for the Ray J. Dennis 3. It's good. No, he missed it. Excuse me, missed it. Rollins. Look what was right into the net. Had 4 players coming into the game with either 170 or 171 rebounds this season. 3 of them had 170. Shoemate has 171. And that's through 28 games.
And he does a great job at it. He relishes it. He embraces it. It's not an easy thing to do.
Miller poked away by Ryan Rollins. And Rollins had it knocked away.
Different times tonight. Suda comes right back up with the basketball. Layups that look like they're automatic in Central Michigan. That's automatic right there for Toledo.
The dunk.
Bring to the table. You miss a box out, you're going to end up on the bench.
Justin Hamilton lost it. Rollins has got it. And here comes the sensational soft.
4th consecutive game with this starting 5.
Yeah, it's consistency. A big staple to their success. You get a foul there on Miles Brown, on Ryan Rollins.
Bumbelow the 3. And the
Reese have stopped falling. Strong offensive rebound by Sparks. Ripped away. Ball's on the floor. Toledo running out for a right-handed layups up and in.
Eastern is just 1 for their last 11 from the three-point line. Tried feeding inside to Jai, and that one knocked away by Dennis. Now
does everything right. And there, even gets his team an extra opportunity. Dribble have a pick, taken right back. Dennis, here's Ryan Rollins. We're way strong for the reigning MAC freshman. That's going to favor Toledo. 8 points, 4 boards. Miller Jr. this score of the game. Trimble, good hands. Ryan for the two-man game. Picks. Ray J. Dennis, easy two. I don't think there's a crack. Where are we right now? It's open. It's open. Ali trying to make it a little more so. Steal Rollins. Why second best in the MAC and best per game. That was awesome.
Penetration defense.
One field goal for Sears. That's it. A three-pointer. This guy's a triple-double threat anytime he's on the court. That pass picked by guess who? Rollins again. Doing it both ends.
Stuff. I'm guessing it's a few. E.J. Farmer swatted away at the rim by Myron Thomas, who's having a great start to this game.
Nice
a
shot
big part by Demarius Jacobs.
Yeah, Farmer getting back on the play.
Gordon to the corner, and a good read by Milner to get a hand on it, and the save by Moss. But the Rockets give it back. Chandler Turner goes at Shoemate.
Great decision by Chandler Turner.
2-year starter for the Broncos. Up high to Taylor. Not a good pass from Jack Webb, and a giveaway, the 9th for CMU. Rollins turns it into a...
And now the sophomore, and a partially blocked 3. Flashes on the attack, leading it by 2.
Oh, good dish by Sincere Carey. Just didn't get there in time.
Broken up by Ray. Up. This is off the back rim, and Jacobs had the ball for a moment, was knocked away from behind. Another chance for the Rockets, but they can't convert. And now it's a Carey, nice move. Stayed on his feet. Dennis providing some good defense, knocked it away, and it's stolen away. This is Rollins, maybe his first 2 coming up. He gets fouled, shot will not fall, and Shoemate will have 2 shots when we come back from this media timeout. 7:29 to go in regular.
Ali leans in. Made not going to Toledo to begin my career.
He's trying to right that mistake. He's trying to fix it.
There you go. Get it to Freeman, right, Wolfie? Give it to Ali. Watched by Shoemate. 5 on the timer. Here's the back end. The shot's coming up. Spins. It's another one. Watched by Milner Jr. 5 to shoot. Dribble. The handles. Dribble to take block. And a foul called.
Healy's triple off the mark. Trying to save in that baseline. Harrison Henderson, Miller to unload. Nope. Game, just a rock at Gibraltar. Miller with the left hand. Put it up on the glass, kept it alive, and that stick back. We come inside the 9-minute mark. Freshman Kevin Miller. Miller to raise up. Got it. Michigan. Big stop for the Chips. Pavretti with the left hand. Didn't go down.
Just really doing a great job of facilitating.
Diggs, off balance 3, misses that time. Offensive rebound, Falcons underneath. Foul here. You know, we heard from Coach Massey with the assistants over on Toledo. We also heard empty in the rebound to Plowden. Because again, I think just to reiterate, we got a rejection.
That average 12 minutes or more. Toledo's only got 6. But why go to your bench when you've got 5 of the best players in the conference?
And
that's Toledo's spot.
Bulls have only had 3 players score. They are going to have to find some complementary scoring from someone else. Janathan Williams, or he just takes
to do that a heck of a lot more times. Still plenty of time on the clock, though.
Janathan Williams with a left hand, put back by Mbala, won't go. MAC regular season championship.
Now they've won consecutive MAC championship regular seasons, but they've shared the championship title. They've never.
In the final 15 minutes, it was back and forth, and Miami came up just short 75-72. Blocked and fouled. Raheem Moss.
Oh yeah. To guess.
Drinks on him. Dede Grant blocked. Etzler the rebound blocked. Back to Grant with 8 on the shot clock. Grant down the lane, scoops it up.
Out of here with a win today, but last 2 games at Buffalo next week, which will be a very difficult game. And then they finish with Bowling Green at home. But Toledo certainly in the driver's seat here over the last 3. And right now, Toledo clicking on all cylinders, just making it look effortless on the offensive end of the court.
60.
And Toledo here in this second half, shooting 64% from the field. So they have been overly efficient on offense.
Blocked. Battling down low still, and he had it taken away. Great D for Toledo.
First and only national championship for the Orange. That was it. Pretty cool. Tervel back into the game. UNLV transfer, floats in and scores. Right off the season. It's been a brick wall defensively thanks to Penn State. Take for Jacobs for 2. I get back in the game, 8 to shoot. Jacobs for Carey. Floating through traffic. Too strong. Back to Northeast Ohio. He got his 100th career MAC win on New Year's Day at home against these Rockets. About to.
From the corner for 3. Hueth, no. They're going to get.
You're serious and you're focused and you're dialed in. There's a time we got to have some fun too. And he has a great balance with that with his club.
That kind of attitude, that's what college basketball is. Hard to imagine when you look at this Ohio team. Carter with a catch on the inside. When he gets it in that position, you're not going to
keep the Rockets off the board.
Vanderplas got Shoemate to charge out at him. And Carter on the inside. That's a mismatch against the Toledo guard.
This is a clinic. 17 of 30 overall between both teams.
Moss off the mark. Cochran the rebound. Cochran running the floor. Up and in. Look at the move. Couldn't finish it after the nifty spin move. Offensive rebound off glass. Couldn't finish again. And coming away with a total size mismatch down low. From below all the way to the rim. Blocked away. Milner the loose ball. The block by Toledo briefly took the lead in the second half, but Ball State has stayed out in front most of the way. Sparks, beautiful move.
That Miami game here at home, they played really 6 or 7 minutes for their first media timeout, and we joked during the broadcast that Nate Scott didn't.
That defensive possession.
Here's Farrakhan. He'll take it to the hole, and it was Raheem Moss who took a spill as well. He tripped over. It's a game. Last outing against Bowling Green at 16 points. That at least would help clear up the paint issue that Eastern Michigan's been having in this one.
Well, when you say...
There you go. There you go. Dawson. 2 in our first half. He's got the range. Drives here is foul. The night. See if Vanderplas can heat up on Milner. Here's the back end. Here's the double. Off the glass and air.
He has those long, remember Jason Preston, those long arms. He make great passes and plays around the rim. Rollins has a little bit of that.
Carter jump hook in the paint, front iron miss.
Nice pass.
Vanderplas, pump fake 3, injury. Vanderplas, good seal.
Ball fake. He's so good at that. Pump faking around the rim.
Vanderplas.
He's such a reliable point guard.
Carter the take for 2 and 1. Bobcats all night. Sears, been involved, half number 2. Can't continue with the miss. Rebound.
Hasn't taken more advantage of it over the years.
And a couple of guys in the NBA as well, too, right?
Yep, sure. You look at what Isaiah Stewart's doing with the play-in, and I've watched a fair share of Toledo this season, but, you know, by all accounts, this was going to be a close game, and I don't know if anybody saw.
Jacobs on the other side. Davis, tough catch on the skip pass. Lost his footing, lefty runner, he's got it. 7 straight game. Go to 11-4 in MAC play. Haven't lost since January 21st on the road to
Just over 7 minutes in. Terrific three-point shooting from both teams so far, especially Ball State. Another 3. Unable to get the ball to Sparks. This is Cochran, fadeaway jumper. Good defense there by
Eastern right now being led by Farrakhan with 9. Shoemate leading the way for the Rockets with 7. McBride, floater in the lane, too strong, and the rebound pulled.
We've seen him be able to handle the big moment, just missed that one there.
That shot offline, and then it's corralled by.
Where are we right now? It's open.
It's open.
Ali trying to make it a little more so. Steal Rollins. Why?
Carey, nice move. Stayed on his feet. Dennis providing some good defense, knocked it away. And
adapting to college basketball, he's shooting just 28% from the floor so far. Loose on the deck and picked up by Ryan Rollins.
Adults, they want to continue to watch it and kind of instill it within their kids too, growing up too. And it's just one of those things that. But that's the energy level and the effort level that you want if you're Coach Massey coming out of the locker room. Despite the score, you're still competing as if this is a tie ball game.
There's Devin Baker, the UNC Asheville transfer. Inside 10 to shoot. Tough jumper with Ryan Rollins.
You're able to cash in and keep the defense honest.
As Yanni had to pick up the dribble, launches a deep 2, way off.
The crowd is electric in here, and that's one thing that Toledo basketball is really true about. You know, these fans are sitting right on top of you, and you're playing.
Inbounds pass, and Edwards has to track it down right near the timeline. He's got to step back and shoot a deep contested 3. That's no good. Inbound tip to Edwards. Edwards into the forecourt, hounded by Wilson. Edwards driving all the way underneath, goes up and at
second half here for Ball State.
I'm not surprised that they just play better with him on the floor, and that's like we said earlier in the game.
Not much for the Chippewas. Shot clock low again. Beechler contested hoist, and he hits it. They're making it tough for Central Michigan on this end. Chippewas just 8 for 21. A lot of contested shots like that.
Segu's a very good shooter, but has not shot it well tonight. To the rim. No,
Get a good shot, not a crazy shot. Put game pressure on him on the road.
Graves swerved. Good one.
I'd have lost the pizza.
Pony up. Graves to the rim. Got 2 more. He's done it easily. Toledo opened the day an outright leader in the MAC. Akron won earlier to tie him. Graves, no.
When they did the, oh, never mind.
I was there a couple years ago. Sabres made the play.
Turner driving, missing. Rollins for the rebound.
Good job. Free throw. Should have took him out, right?
A 90-81 Toledo win. There's Michael Wynn straight down.
Outstanding game that he's had.
Brian Trimble.
Macy Daly. Daly got shut off, stepping back on the jumper.
Which Rob Senderoff of the Golden Flashes. Santiago gets deep into.
Screen by Kamagum now.
The last thing you want to do right here, the last thing you want to see Coach Kowalski getting the ball. As soon as that rebound was pulled down right there, Mason Littleson was able to, he started face guarding him. They don't want.
Marco Ballard, again, coming off the bench again. We mentioned the Buffalo game last year, just the spark he's provided in this one, and Bryce.
Oh, to run that offense. Miller's deep three didn't get there. Offensive board. Miller to the floater. That didn't fall. Miller got it back. Terrific.
Jack
Let me
really
correct that. You gotta at least slow down Ryan Rollins.
You gotta try.
And it's Jack who goes right to the rim, come ever to win back-to-back regular season MAC titles. Now, that one we're going to wave off. Mbala tipped it in, but they're going to call off. Second team is an at-large bid since I think 1995.
Which is such a shame.
You know, and Todd Kowalczyk said it to us on our phone call yesterday. He said he feels like the conference needs to do a better job.
With all the momentum here over these last 7 or 8 minutes of this game to make this a 1-point deficit.
Eyeing up JT Shoemate. JT fell down. McMillan got blocked.
He passed that one up.
Shot clock at 5. Here comes Healy. Leaning backwards, scored anyway. He's got 7 points.
7 straight game. Go to 11-4 in MAC play. Haven't lost since January 21st on the road to. You hear Rashawn Burno, head coach for the Huskies, saying, move, move. Thornton, a little ball fake. 32-20. The run has gone to 13 straight. NIU scoreless for almost 4 minutes.
They're getting that rebound right in the middle of all those big guys and going up with it.
Season, and they play with that grit and that toughness that you need to be successful.
Ben Roderick on the drive, well defended by Rollins, who runs.
And Jason Preston really took him under his wing and really led him as a role model. And Mark Sears hasn't missed a beat from where Jason Preston left off.
Schmack caught it on the wing. Carter got Rollins to run at him. The Euro step. The crafty 24-year-old can't catch.
When you have all 5 guys getting on the board, you limit teams to 1 shot and 1 shot only.
Or period. So rarely takes a bad shot. Miles Brown, that quick first step into the paint.
Timeout in this first half. Down to 10 to shoot. All the way to the rim, laying it up and in. 50. Sellers attacks the rim. And then out of bounds to the Rocket.
We've seen him be able to handle the big moment, just missed that one there.
That shot offline, and then it's corralled by.
Chance.
And also apparently brought him some food today, is what we're being told. And right on cue, Nate Scott, back-to-back buckets for him. Graham.
Attacks again. Nice pass, Grace to Crabtree. From underneath the basket, a tough layup for Cuff with the Grant Golden rebound. Gilliard to the basket, partially blocked by Wilson. Still 10 on the shot clock. Attacks and draws the contact. Golden with 10 on the shot clock. Rollins with the steal.
Travel.
But then he traveled.
Yep. Just attack. Don't settle.
Wilson's going to do just that. He missed that one, and Rollins the rebound.
With the Captain Hall off the marble screen. And now Walker penetrates off the glass. No good. And the rebound pulled down. Akins looking for marble. Not there. Christie goes baseline over Shoemate. No, but there.
Montez, the senior guard, long and lean, 6'4", driving, touching down the lane. Shot clock violation or a foul? It's a foul on Derek Bogey. It's only his second appearance.
But that's the energy level and the effort level that you want if you're Coach Massey coming out of the locker room. Despite the score, you're still competing as if this is a tie ball game.
Scheduled between Abilene Christian and Coastal Carolina didn't take place, and Coastal got a bye into the second round. Milner giving it up to Jacoby, had it stripped on the way up, and it ends.
But he's an aggressive player on both ends of the floor. If he gets an opportunity, he's gonna take his shots. And
here in the Bahamas, we'll get the Pink Flamingo Championship and then the Bahamas Championship to follow. James the rebound. He plays basketball at Kent State. His older sister Emma just transferred from West Virginia to Ohio State. There's Jalen Cook. Collapse inside and create problems for Toledo there.
Yeah, Clyde trying to be able to get the deflection.
Jameer Young to the rack. Count it. Plus the foul. Nice offensive rebound, Jameer Young. And a reset for the 49ers. Austin Butler. Clyde Trapp and Jameer Young, both with 20-plus points. Fred Gill is tangled up inside. In fact,
defense on Rollins. Anderson drives. Gordon on the move. Into the lane. Needs help. Traveled with the basketball. Under 2 to go in the half. Diavario. His pass deflected. Wrights Edwards. He's driving. Into the lane. Sheldon Edwards is tied on. Tipped Edwards. Edwards into the forecourt. Hounded by Wilson. Edwards driving all the way underneath. Goes up and at
Michael Dawson steps back, it's a three, short. Rebound, Ali leading scorer. Castaneda tries a three and nails it. We're shooting too many threes in the first half and fell way behind. Castaneda thinking about a three, is fouled and shoots 3 free throws. Rollins
thought about the three. Coming up way short on that trigger was Ray J. Dennis. This is Healy to unload. Michigan looking to add to their lead here. Tony Barbie, the head coach, letting Kevin Miller know to run that off.
But he's got a strong game to him.
No, I agree. Averages almost 13 points a game, and like the way he boards too. Offensive games tied at 35. Healy, Miller to triple. Got it! For the Central Michigan Chippewas. 8th seed, heavy underdog coming into this one against the top seed. That
limit the half court and the runouts by the Rockets, so they have to be smart in the half court.
Mills by E.J. Farmer. 2 straight misses now for Toledo. Long 3-point attempt. Comes up. Here's Fulcher here for the Falcons. They trail by 13. This was a 12-12 game not too long ago, Steve. We got a 3. Kentucky and Cincinnati. And Milner was also offered.
He was offered at Michigan State as a receiver.
Going to be a team that's going to have a lot of bench scoring, but you do want that group to come in and either stabilize or add something to what's going on.
Hurting them, but I thought that could have been a travel there.
The freshman Curtis Jones cross court. Jonathan Williams for 3.
That are in the player of the year conversation.
Offensive rebound for Buffalo. Jones for 3. Big hot on the other end. Bulls playing with a little more life here coming out of the locker room. That's Maceo Jack off the
playing, and I've watched a fair share of Toledo this season, but you know, by all accounts, this was going to be a close game, and I don't know if anybody saw.
Blocked. Getting it back, Aya. Brown the 3.
Excuse me, Robert. Even though Toledo is not an overly big team, only go about 6'7" across the board there in that starting 5, they're doing a terrific job.
On the year. Here, the living embodiment of efficiency. Clean look for JoJo Freeman. Hastings grabs the offensive shot impression, and it didn't go well. Lamar Norman, my goodness, his range is up.
The last possession.
Norman. Oh, man. Popped out halfway down. Look like they're going to represent the MAC. Tonight they're in a dogfight. The artist White off on the three.
Well, because a lot of guys aren't 50% from 5 feet from the basket.
The artist White in and out. Rebound being JoJo Freeman. And the Broncos have a bucket on that triple. The artist White off the screen. And the Broncos
all out. They keep it alive with a tip. Really good rebounders.
Couple of good-looking shots in a row for JoJo Freeman.
Pavret's made his presence known on the inside.
And Miller, his last 2 threes have been. They're about to get bigger, too, the Chippewas, with Pearson Henderson checking in. Raheem Moss really collects at midcourt. 7 to shoot. Miller thought about the 3, leaned in. That's a much better look. Wouldn't go for Taylor.
Elevation. Carey trying to quiet the crowd. Davis, lefty 3. Wow.
Gives you an idea how strong Rollins is.
Hankerson up over the top. Straight up 3 minutes to play in a 40-32 game. High scoring first half.
Most dangerous spot in the floor on a break is where? The middle, because you got options left or right.
Out of the timeout, Hank.
Snapped in Muncie on Friday at the hands of a hot shooting Ball State team. Ohio, since the loss to Toledo 18 days ago that we talked about, they've ripped off 5 consecutive. You said it, Sears can put you on skates in a hurry. A wild 3 from Vanderplas. Sears. Ohio just 6 of 22 shooting in the second half. That's 27% as Sears buries a 3. Climb back into this game, but not much of it. Schmock, that's an off-balance 3, and it goes anyway. Ohio within 9. And here come the Bobcats. Sears transition triple wouldn't go. Dennis poked that away from Izuma.
That's it, fortunate there.
6-7 all the way around between most all their players, but they don't have a lot of bulk down inside. They got to use that to their advantage.
Cochran kicks it out for a 3. It's up and at the other end, and Ball State comes away with the rebound. Ball State lost by 24 on the road at Ohio on Tuesday as another 3 and rebounded by the Cardinals. Quick 3. Hey, Wyatt.
Oh my gosh. Physical, and he's in the game. I mean, he plays a little bit as it is, but he's really in the game to help take away Peyton Sparks for Ball State. But when you're shooting,
just over 7 minutes in, terrific 3-point shooting from both teams so far, especially Ball State. Another 3. Scoring for the rebound nicely was Thomas. Kicks it out, bum below a 3. He got it.
Got to convert on those, especially on the road against a hot Ball State squad. Oh my,
Bumbalo is hot. He back in the first half after they were down by 20, hit 3 threes in a row on 3 straight possessions. Good ball movement and the open 3, well off the mark. Trying to win their 10th game in a row. Ball State trying to make it 4 out of 5 in the win column. Here's Sparks, mismatched size-wise, kicks it out for a 3.
That have gotten in the scoring column in this game. So it's just 6 guys really that are hurting Eastern.
Eastern also has 6 players.
Tonight in Toledo.
Favorite play that they run to get Trimble a 3?
Trimble 3, nope. Shooting too many 3s in the first half and fell way behind. Castaneda thinking about a 3 is fouled and shoots 3 free throws. Rollins.
Better for Ryan Rollins, far and away the best at 20 points plus in the Mid-American Conference.
Well, that's just phenomenal consistency offense. Milner,
They gave it to Milner, all right.
And he's
Milner on that stick back.
And he's a big-time offensive rebounder, but a really nice stick back for him.
For the Central Michigan Chippewas, 8th seed, heavy underdog coming into this one against the top seed. That
limit the half court and the runouts by the Rockets, so they have to be smart in the half court.
Mills, Kentucky and Cincinnati. And
Well, Milner was also offered. He was offered at Michigan State as a receiver.
Excuse me, Robert, even though Toledo is not an overly big team, only go about 6'7" across the board there in that starting five, they're doing a terrific job.
Dunk underneath.
A Seth Milner dunk is always a great shot, and often a great highlight, too. Healy misses the two. Healy off the curl, a step inside the line.
Yeah, Matt, he relishes it, he embraces it. It's not an easy thing to do.
Miller poked away by Ryan Rollins.
Hankerson right out of the inbound.
Most dangerous spot in the floor on a break is where? The middle, because you got options left or right.
Out of the timeout, handball team. In fact, she was ranked the 44th best recruit coming out of high school. So pretty good ball players in that Shumate family.
Toledo. Favorite play that they run to get Trimble a three?
Trimble, three, nope. That's pretty classic there for Raheem Moss last week.
Dave, I got to thank my kids for that. I finally know what a meme is.
Me too. I'm with you.
Try to make sure that you can respond here because you've gotten yourself back into the ballgame.
Clark for the hot hand. Trimble steps back, a two over Rollins.
I mean, Toledo is so dialed in. Their guards are so good at attacking the gaps.
7 points tonight for Raheem Moss. Roderick kicks, ground, corner three. And now his second year at Toledo.
And he's giving Marv Sears a run for the money for player of the year in the MAC.
Schmuck, three.
Create opportunities going towards the rim. They do a great job of moving without the basketball. They create, opportunities, for them.
They have done everything but that. That's the next step. Miller.
1980.
Yeah.
Now coming up at the next whistle, Hamilton flips it to back underneath and could almost 60% from the floor. Jacobs underneath. Not much room to work with, though. Blocked by 7 for Cedric Milner. It's a 4-point game. 30-26. Final shot of the half. Giovanni.
Kind of regroup a little bit, and then once the second semester starts, be much more adapt to it because you got one underneath the belt.
Tricks out. He can stretch the floor.
A big time shot there from Shumate. Really hung there on the rim.
The game in other ways, and that's got to be okay for him too, that he can impact in other ways.
Anderson a three to tie it. That's well off the mark.
Nice job hanging in the. Very impressed, King, with the Spiders, who playing so short-handed tonight. Speaks to the strength of the A-10.
Find wing threes. They shoot it very well from behind the arc on the wings, control the pace for Toledo and minimize the turnover.
Toledo on the Mario Jackson personal foul. That's 5. So they still got one to get. Bumbalo to unload. Boy, had a good.
Find your big man down low. And JT, who's been very offensive minded.
Make that 9 on 2 for 2 from that charity stripe. Hazen out top. 86-65. Luke Bumbalo for 3 off the.
But that's the dire spot that the Chippewas are in right now. Beachler, good look.
Field goal percentage in third in free throw percentage. Just another weapon, efficient weapon that Coach Kowalski can go to on the floor.
Again, with 2 blocked shots on the year. And really nothing going in for Miami, and Dede Grant in particular, just 3 of 13. That's Larry bouncing off of Akunzo like. Diggs finally missed.
Battle of I-75 here at the Stroh Center. Bowling Green women, Toledo women were in action at noon. The lob to Fulcher.
115-pound junior out of London, England, Jonathan Kamagum. Right side, it is open for Isaiah Coleman. Lands.
Hand, too. Spencer Littleson up to a good start once again.
There was Matt Beechler trying to answer from three in
fashion. See if the Chippewas have an answer.
Ryan Rollins back in, so is Ralph Bissay. That's Beechler.
Tremendous job of getting into the passing lane there where he was able to catch just a quick right foot into that shooting motion and up and in and gets the ball out of his hand really quick. Absolutely locked in, and to your point, Michael, this is going to be a 40-minute basketball game, no question about it. Seconds to go here on the shot clock, so the Zips are going to have to go quickly.
Dawson on the give-in. That's short behind the deep line, huh? Just one field goal attempt from two. Trimble again. Feeling it is great.
It was very similar to that. Sliding through traffic. He is a slasher.
Sears trying to answer does with a left. Castaneda lost it. It's out of bounds. Kept there by Akron. Ryan Rollins says, no, that's not the right call. And turn the tables on the Zips in half number two. Freeman's been really quiet. Clark drives. Can't hit. They're not going to the post.
Michigan looking to add to their lead here. Tony Barbie, the head coach, letting Kevin Miller know to run that off.
Put on by the Rockets. Shoemate with 19. He had 29 in the last matchup between these two clubs. Ball gets loose and bounced off the foot.
Toledo went on a big push late to take the lead going into the locker room. Turnover to start the half and a run out. Dunking it.
On that triple. The artist White off the screen. And the Broncos.
They only had 16 paint points in game one between these two clubs. Got to make sure they allow that Toledo defense to play honest. Keep off the free throw line. Toledo had 21 points.
They're about to get bigger, too, the Chippewas, with Harrison Henderson checking in. Raheem Moss. Nothing there for Miller leading in. That's great defense by Ryan Rollins. And great defense.
You hear Rashawn Berno, head coach for the Huskies, saying, move, move. Thornton, a little ball fake. 32-20. The run has gone to 13 straight. NIU scoreless for almost 4 minutes.
And Jason Preston really took him under his wing and really led him as a role model. And Mark Sears hasn't missed a beat from where Jason Preston left off.
Ohio just 6 of 22 shooting in the second half. That's 27% as Sears buries a three.
Timeout in this first half. Down to 10 to shoot. All the way to the rim, laying it up and in. 50
that have gotten in the scoring column in this game. So it's just 6 guys really that are hurting Eastern.
Eastern also has 6 players.
8 points, 4 boards. Miller Jr. just scored the game. Trimble, good hands. Ryan for the two-man game. Pick. One field goal for Sears, that's it. A three-pointer. This guy's a triple-double threat anytime he's on the court. That pass picked by guess who? Rollins again.
Sparks out to set a screen for Jacobs. Sparks launches. That was tipped. Thomas, no. Per game, second most in the conference. Deep in the shot clock. Caleb Thornton launches a three and leaves it short. Zion Russell, the freshman from DC, comes off the bench. Hankerson, that's an NBA three. And we know he can light it up.
1 points, nearly 7 boards, 2 assists per game. And a 65% field goal shot.
Justin Hamilton, and he found his guy. If you're looking to push the tempo, you're going to want to get the ball into Gio's hands.
There it goes on the three, in and out.
To being more selective with taking open shots. In doing that, he's developed, a greater feel for the game, a greater confidence. You see, good read, good finish.
Kinsey launches a three. That's off the mark.
Sal Caresi into the lineup, the 6'9" senior from Harlem. He tied his career high in that NIT game with 10 points against Toledo. Off with the Grant Golden rebound. Gilliard to the basket. Partially blocked by.
Just attack, don't settle.
Wilson's going to do just that. He missed that one, and Rollins the rebound.
Montez, the senior guard, long and lean, 6'4", driving, tough down the lane. Shot clock violation or a foul? It's a foul on Derek Bogey. It's only his second appearance.
Defensively, you can scrape down from the guard slot to kind of disrupt the post move that's being made. You can, but he's an aggressive player on both ends of the floor. If he gets an opportunity, he's gonna take his shots. And
the preseason polls, they've really shown up and let people know here in the Bahamas how good they are.
Jalen Cook thought about launching a three. Toledo is 0 for its last 9 from the floor. Jalen Cook, body control. He plays basketball at Kent State. His older sister, Emma, just transferred from West Virginia to Ohio State. There's Jalen Cook. Collapse inside and create problems for Toledo there.
Yeah, Clyde trying to be able to get the deflection.
Jameer Young to the rack. Count it. Plus the foul.
Like that all game. Inbounded Edwards. And he steps back and shoots the three. That's off the mark.
He can just really fill it up, and that's why he averaged 14 as a freshman. That's hard.
Offensive.
Rollins picking up his 3rd foul there. Preston takes it inside, and a teardrop shot comes up short.
Also had 19 in Ball State's win over Toledo.
That's right.
In
Yep.
Muncie.
The Cardinals got a little bit sloppy there. 79. The triple went down in that first Ball State possession from Elamine. Coleman will turn the corner. Got it to drop.
It is such an awful drive home if you lose.
I've made the drive before. That's out of goals. Now Segul slow it down and smart enough to stay, meaning not get poached from another school as Segul scores.
25 seconds left. Grant drove on Shoemate, who got caught up in the air. It's bashed out to Rollins. There's Caleb Fields going right at the freshman. Couldn't throw it in, couldn't tip it. That really helped ignite this Toledo offense.
let's see if it ignites their defense right now, because Bowling Green's in good rhythm.
Virginia wasn't